this is the Arada Lagom, and typical Arada because the look is absolutely spot on. Hi, I'm Gabriel. My family have been manufacturing, designing and selling stoves for 3 generations. And this channel has 2 sides: stove reviews and information, and mini films about successful people and their life-changing wisdom. Check them out and leave me a comment. You could also like and subscribe to see more. This is the standard version, but they also do it in a white ceramic. It's got direct air and a log store. There's a grate and an ash pan, and it looks fantastic. It also gets distances to combustibles of just 100 mil on the back and sides, which makes it incredibly versatile for installation into timber frame buildings or open plan living. Starts off with a couple of small logs on the base of the stove, then some kindling, and then fire lighter or 2. Annoyingly, my stovetop thermometer was misbehaving during this test, but we loaded it after about 10 minutes and it was fully up to temperature by my estimations after about a quarter of an hour. As long as logs don't fall into the glass, which as you can see has happened once, it runs completely spotless. It's also Defra approved, eco-design ready, and it's 80.5% efficient. You get a glove with the stove, which in the main you don't need because the handles and tools and whatnot are all stay cool. You get a log store underneath, which just clicks to open and clicks to close. Inside you've got a little grate and an ash pan, but it is focused on burning wood. The door is sprung, so it will sort of self-close, and that makes the stove really easy to light, because you get this sort of roar with the door held just ajar. And then when you do need to keep the door open when you're loading it with fuel, it has a little block, so it's not going to block and bash into your arm. The handle itself is really nice to use. And then we've got the main air control all the way out like this. For when you're lighting and getting it going. You can fully close it down and it really works. Shuts right down straight away, and then you can sort of feather it back just to maintain operating temperature or to cool it down a bit if you're too hot. We test stoves by getting them up to operating.
I haven't even looked at you.
We test stoves by getting them up to operating temperature. We test stoves by getting them up to operating. We test stoves by getting them up to operating temperature and then burning a single net of kiln-dried logs on them to see how long they can maintain operating temperature. This stove did it for 9 hours, which was great. And if you shut it down on a single load of logs like this, you find that actually this sort of amount of fuel can trickle on for 4 hours or so. This stove has a really fantastic spec. It's got proper clay fire bricks, which are rare nowadays but last much longer. It's really clean, it's controllable, and it looks fantastic. This is one of the most competent and rounded, I mean that in both ways, stoves that Arada has ever made. It's good at everything you throw at it. It's got great control, it's clean, it's efficient, and the look, as always with Arada, is spot on.